Talk to me about that time in the kayak, mate. How did that happen?
So yeah, we were doing a project, a series of 10 expeditions, each of which was a first, each of which had some element of it that hadn't been done before. And one of them was to descend a whitewater river in Bhutan in the Himalayas, which was totally unpaddled to a certain extent, much like with the rock faces we were talking about before. To a certain extent, we flew some portions of it with the drone. There were a couple of sections where we got up ahead and we looked down onto the river with binoculars, but you can only tell so much.
Also, just as a layman, you don't know what those drops are, or you can maybe estimate the drop, but you can't estimate what's underwater. A drone can't see through water.
No, that's absolutely true. I mean, we used those things plus a little bit of the kind of what we knew of the landscape and how much the river had to fall to make I guess to get some idea of whether it would be possible at all. But then the idea was that as we descended, you'd get out at every significant rapid and you'd do a recce, you'd check, you'd have a good look around and you'd look for obvious obstacles in the water. So for example, if you get a big rapid and there is a tree down through the middle of it, that's really dangerous. The chances are you can get through the rapid, but you're going to get stuck at some point, and getting stuck in the middle of a river at a big rapid is not good. So you would try and carry around it. The one that was a problem was we got to the end of the day, and I'm sure that you've been through this yourself as well. There are so many times when bad things happen at the end of the day, when everyone's tired, everyone's exhausted, everyone just wants to get to somewhere and set up the camp and get some food inside them. And we got to a rapid that was obviously serious, but we couldn't see down to the bottom of it and we couldn't recce it. And I think if we'd hit that rapid at 11 in the morning, everyone would just have gone, do you know what, this is too dangerous, let's just carry the boats up and out and around it, and it'll be fine. But we had that end of day kind of, let's just get this done, and we talked ourselves into running it blind, which was it was a dumb call. It was a really dumb call. And my paddle partner, Sal Montgomery, who is just the most nails human being you will ever see. I mean, she is shredded in a way that no human being should ever be, and she's an extraordinary paddler. But she went down first, managed to pick a line, and then I followed, and I didn't do as well as she did, and I went down this small waterfall where the entire river volume was being channeled into one short section, and I got caught and I got sucked under. My boat got sucked under first, and then normally in that situation, after a minute or so of getting thrashed about, you come out of the boat and the rapid flushes you out. And I came out of the boat and I just got dragged straight to the bottom. And yeah, it was the big difference was time. So I have had close calls before, but they've all been quick. They've all been things that you only realize afterwards when you're sat back in the pub with your mates. Oh, actually, that was a bit spicy. But this time, like you said, I was in it for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes is enough time for you to figure out what's happening, for you to process it, and for you to realize this is all bad.
So just because you are upside down in a boat with basically a tap the size of a football pitch dropping on you, and you can't get out of it. It's like when you see a ball being hit, it's just being pushed under the water and it's trying to get up, but it just can't get up.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You have a certain amount of flotation from your PFD, from your life jacket, and that was bringing me back up to the surface every, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 seconds. But the water is glacial meltwater. It's absolutely freezing, and you're being washing machined, churned up and down. So you've got no air in your lungs. You come up, you grab a breath, you're back under. And the scary thing is, I think that when you're a physical person, you get used to relying on your own strength and ability to get yourself out of situations. And after probably, I would guess, 3 or 4 minutes, I had no strength. I could not get myself back up to the surface. I very quickly realized that I was done. I was gone, and I wasn't getting out of it myself.
So did you come to terms at that moment, Steve, with the end of your life?
Yeah, I did. Um, I think I've had to think about this quite a lot afterwards, and I think that moments like that seem to go on forever. And you know the expression of your life flashing before your eyes. I believe that's a real thing. I believe that's something that you know, both retrospectively, a moment takes on more importance than it had, so you stretch it in your mind. But also, I think that probably your brain is a remarkable tool, and it's probably running back through your life to try and find some kind of precedent, something that it can anchor onto that might be your solution, that might be your way out of that problem. Which is why, you know, it does, you literally find yourself going back to your childhood and going back to, you know, the first time you ever got into a kayak. But more than anything, I had time to think of my little boy and my wife and think, I'm not going to get him to see him grow up. And I can remember it so with such clarity. And it was horrific, just that absolute knowledge that I was going to drown and I was going to die there. And like I said, I could not affect that situation. There was nothing I could do about it. And if it wasn't for the fact that Sal managed to somehow, God knows how, get back up against the rapids, throw me in a line, and she had one throw. There is, you know, she had no margin for error. She couldn't have brought the bag back in, restacked it and thrown it again. I would have been drowned by then. And she hit me with the bag first time, dragged me down through the rapids, and it was, you know, I've got a good kicking, but I survived, and I owe Sal my life, absolutely 100%. And it's that's a pretty powerful thing, you know. I don't waste any opportunity to get on the phone and to tell her that everything, you know, my twins, my future is all thanks to her.